Hi, I'm totally excited to have you here today with me on Real Talk. My friend, please keep in mind that Real Talk is really about your walk with God, your talk with God. And not only that, Real Talk is also about your mental health. So, Real Talk is really an integration of your spiritual walk with God and your psychological, mental health, and your well being. Well, my friend, I need you to help me. I mean this right now. I need you to go to that screen and I need you to press that button and share this word with as many people as you possibly can. Well, I'm going to the book of Philippians chapter 4, verse 9. And this is what Paul is saying to us in the back. Then he said it, but the back then relates to the here and the nowness of your life. He says, those things which ye have both learnt and received, and heard and seen in me, do. And the God of peace shall be with you. I want to talk to you about the reality of change. The reality of change. Let me just say this, my friend, that change is not optional. It is inevitable. Change cannot be avoided. Whether we are ready or not, change will knock on your door. You can't outrun change. You can't outpray change or outplan change. Change is always coming. In fact, over 2,500 years ago, a Greek philosopher by the name of Heraclitus said the following. He said, no man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man. In other words, what he was really driving at, my friend, is this. Each moment in life is different. Each moment is different. Each season is different. Seasons return, but they never bring back the same leaves. Did you hear that? Each moment is different. You can revisit a place, but you can never relive the same moment exactly the same way. Each moment is different. Your worship experience is never the same. Sunday after Sunday, it will always be different. Even if you have the same people singing and the same person preaching, no moment in time is exactly the same. I'm basically driving at this fact, my friend, that life is constantly changing. Life is a constant motion. We live in time of sweeping change. Haven't you noticed how things are changing rapidly and quickly? Governments are shifting. School systems are being restructured. Technology is moving faster and faster. And AI is not walking. My God, it's sprinting through history. AI is not just innovation. Hear me now. AI is acceleration. Even the church must confront shifting paradigms. You know what a paradigm is? Well, it's a pattern, it's a framework, it's a mindset. And the church has to embrace the reality that things are changing. Changes everywhere. Yet, it is often met with inner resistance. Haven't you noticed how we resist change? Why do we resist change? Well, change threatens our regular routine. We get stuck in a particular routine and we really don't want to shift out of it. Change destabilizes what we are comfortable with. Change pushes us beyond predictability. We love predictability, but change says you have to shift and do things a little different. Change creates, hear me now, internal conflict between old beliefs and new behaviors or new ways. Change is stepping out into the unfamiliar, even if the current situation is unhealthy. What are you driving at? Let me put it like this. Some people stay in an unhealthy relationship because they are afraid of the unfamiliar. They stay in an abusive relationship because the abusive relationship, although they don't like it, is so familiar that they would rather stay in the abuse than make the shift to get out of the abuse. So they get trapped in a loop, in a cycle that's never changing. Well, my brothers and my sisters, what I'm really driving at is that don't get stuck in life when you have to deal with change. Don't get frozen at the crossroad of change. Don't stay in the doorway. Don't get suspended in midair. Paul is saying to us that there is a self-changing plan that we can use to deal with changes in our lives. Are you ready? Here's the first thing I want to say about how you can handle the changes of life. Number one, the principle of assimilation. Did you see that in the Word of God? It's the principle of assimilation. Did you see what Paul says? Paul says, what ye have learnt and received. Paul's preaching and teaching was heard in Philippi. They learnt it, they received it, and Paul says you have assimilated it. In other words, you have absorbed it. My teaching, my preaching. This is allowing the Word of God to literally be engrafted into your life. Change begins when we internalize what God is saying to us. We internalize what God is speaking to us. You can't walk in what you won't take in. You can't walk in what you won't take in. If you want to make changes in life, one of the ways how you can become better by the grace and by the power of God, you have to take it in. What you internalize becomes what you act on. So assimilating God's promises gives emotional grounding during changing times. Are you ready? Assimilation breaks the stronghold of self-deception. Assimilation dismantles emotional bondage, one truth at a time. You ready for the second thing here? Here it is. Patterns of accommodation. Did you see it in the Word of God? Paul says, and heard and seen in me. Paul was practicing what he preached. Wow, I love it. He's practicing what he's preaching. It was a message, listen, of walk and talk. You got to walk it and you got to live it. And he says, this is the pattern of accommodation. He says, I've lived a lifestyle before you, and I want you to pattern that lifestyle. Accommodation activates a renewed mind. What ye have heard, seen, I want you to pattern that. I want you to pattern the lives of people who are actually walking it and living it and talking it. Like Abraham. Remember Abraham's radical obedience. How he was willing, as it were, to go up to Mount Moriah and sacrifice his son. I want you to pattern the life of Joseph, who was a man of great integrity, although he was under a lot of pressure. I want you to intimidate the lifestyle of Moses, who was a courageous leader. Can we go through it one more time, my friend? Here is the pattern of change, the principle of assimilation, the principle of accommodation, and the principle of adaptation. What? The principle of adaptation. Did you see that word right there in verse 9? Paul says, do. That's it. Do. And the God of peace shall be with you. The response to Paul's message was simply this. Paul says, don't overthink it. That's what Paul is saying. Paul is saying, I want you to do it. You remember that slogan? Just do it. It's right there in this text. Paul says, do it. Just do it. Adapt. Adaptation means you are not just thinking differently, you are living differently. Adaptation says you are not just learning the word. Oh, you are now a doer of the word. You're not just shouting over the word on Sunday morning or when you come in the context of church, but you are actually doing the word. And the peace comes when your practice matches the principle that God has laid down in his world. So adaptation cements change. Adaptation is where spiritual truth becomes a reality. Let me just give you a quick summary of it one more time. Assimilation brings in the word. Accommodation rearranges our thinking, and adaptation reshapes our behavior. Let me put it like this. When COVID came on the scene, in order to survive, we went through this process. We had to assimilate, look at it. We had to accommodate, change our thinking, and then we had to adapt behaviorally, do things differently. Well, my friend, it's been a blessing sharing the word of God with you today. I'm excited. I need you, yes, right now, to press that share button and share this word with as many people as you possibly can. Keep in mind that Real Talk is really about your spiritual health and your mental health as you walk with God. And here it is. Do what the word says, and change will be birthed in your life. Bye for now, Dr. Bair.